Gilda, what do we have for today?
Hello, everybody. Today I want to talk about somebody who has been hogging the airwaves lately, Michelle Obama. Wow. She is complaining and whining as usual about America being bad for her. And because American white women insist on having straight hair. She felt that every day she had to make her hair straight and sleek and not curly the way black people's hair is. Well, I was watching her on an interview show, and there she was, sitting there with straight, sleek, beautiful hair, and she wasn't in the White House under all that pressure, as she said she had felt. So she wasn't in the White House and having to compete with white women's hair. She was on an interview show outside of the realm of the White House, outside of politics. And she said, no, America isn't ready for a female president. And therefore, don't waste my time. That was her quote. Don't waste my time. You're not ready for a female president because they didn't vote for Kamala. Maybe, just maybe, we weren't ready for Kamala or ever would have been ready for Kamala, who is a terrible candidate. There were other black women, I'm sure, who were far better in the eyes of Americans who were voters. But she was complaining and whining. And what really gets me all the time is how she has her podcast with her brother, and she's forever putting her husband down. It's not a respectful relationship. He said more than once that he's in the doghouse. He could have been a more, I don't know, present husband, and he blames himself for not being more present. And she is just irate. She's nasty toward him. And there have been rumors that that relationship is not going to continue, but who knows? Maybe the lifestyle is a draw. People stay in their relationships and marriages because of the lifestyle very often. Maybe, I don't know. But who knows? I mean, she is getting such a kick out of making fun and putting down Americans and the country. And don't forget,
Yeah.
I will never forget, she has never been proud of being an American until she was in the White House.
Yeah.
So here she was sitting with her sleek hair that nobody was pushing her to maintain. And she wasn't in the White House having to come across with, quote, white standards. So I am saying to all women, stop complaining about your men. Just stop it. If you complain and remain, you're not in enough pain. Because if you were, you'd skedazzle out of there. It's never any fun to initiate a divorce. I did because I was unhappy. And anybody could have done the same. And yeah, I was terrified that I would end up as a bag lady without any money because he said he was going to get me financially. That's how he thought he was going to get me. But I was unhappy. I had to leave that relationship. It was it was abusive. It was angry. It was not a good relationship.
Mhm.
And I had to do a lot of soul searching as to why are you in it? Why were you in it? Why did you find this a comfort to yourself? Did a lot of therapy, a lot of soul searching. But you know what? In the end, I did leave. So again, anybody who complains and remains is just not in enough pain. So look in the mirror and say, is this anguish that I'm going through easier than leaving or harder than leaving? If the anguish is too much, you say, no, I have to protect my humanity. I have to get out of there. So, since I did it, I know it can be done. And I was terrified as anybody could have been, as fearful that I would land as a bag lady, as fearful as any woman going through a dependent relationship into an independent relationship, not knowing whether or not she could survive. But I did. And when I hear Michelle Obama squawking again and again and again about her husband, it doesn't seem right. And it doesn't sound right. And nobody wants to hear her complaining about her husband.
Right.
So I think this is another manifestation of a woman um, castrating a man, and
Yep.
I don't like to see that. I personally don't like to see it, not only because I'm spokesperson for the International Council for Men and Boys, not only because of that, because I defend men, but I don't like to see women putting men down, any women or any men. I like to see women supporting their men.
Right.
So it wasn't pretty.
It was not pretty. I get it. It's not, and that's the problem. And we go through these things and we have to kind of get over them, but it's hard to get
You
over.
know what? You know what upsets me though? I get really upset. She has two daughters, impressionable daughters, and she's listening to this stuff. How can the daughters not grow up and similarly take on that same evil about men that they see in their mom? How could they not?
Exactly.
So it's not good. You know what? If you don't respect somebody that you're with, you shouldn't be with them. If you're with somebody that you don't respect, understand that and look at the exit sign and move towards it. But don't, especially within earshot of children who are growing and developing and trying to find their own relationships, because they will end up just like you.
Yep. And what we deal with for sure. And so what do you think the lesson of the story is?
The lesson of the story is that you don't put your husband down, certainly to other people. If you have issues with your husband, you confront them privately with him. And you say that and you set it up with the when you, I feel sentence structure. When you did such and such a thing, I felt as though I was invisible, as though you didn't pay any attention to me.
Mhm.
Now, maybe this is an attention getting device on her part. Maybe she did feel that he was too devoted to the country, too devoted to his politics, and not devoted enough to her. Maybe she did. If that's the case, get some therapy, understand what the feeling really is, and speak about it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, do not let your daughters hear this because it's man hating any way you cut it. It's man hating. And I don't want to be around it. And I know a number of Americans that I hang out with don't want to hear it. Maybe the man hating women out there love it. Maybe they love her because she talks their talk. Well, that her talk is not my talk. And my talk isn't the kind of talk that my friends talk. We love men, we respect men, and we fight for their rights.
Yeah.
So, Michelle Obama, get some therapy because you sure as hell need it.
All right. That was this. Go to drgilda.com. That